Happy New Year, everybody. I'm just going to try to get one more song up here before the end of the year, 2025, so that you have this song that everybody knows and that is fun to play on New Year's Eve. So anyway, you may have wondered, how did this song become like the song that everybody sings and that you hear every New Year's? Well, it's an old Scots tune. It's an old Scottish tune, but there was a guy named Guy Lombardo. He had an orchestra. He played violin, and he was playing a place called the Roosevelt Hotel in New York City in 1929, right after the stock market crashed, and so there was a lot of depression and country was in a bit of disarray. Anyway, he was broadcast live on the radio to a lot of homes throughout the country, and he decided to play this old Scottish tune. If you're wondering, the song is written in Scots and Old English, but the title Auld Lang Syne is in Scots, which is like this old Scottish language that a million Scottish people still sing, still speak, and Auld Lang Syne just breaks down to old long since, basically roughly meaning like for old time's sake. So anyway, Guy Lombardo played this song in 1929, almost 100 years ago, and now pretty much you can't get away from it any New Year's Eve. And so I'm going to show you two versions here. The first version is just this simple chord version, so that if you're just a beginner, you can pick this song up easily. Now, you're going to probably want to just play these 6 chords. That's just a regular G, and then you can play a G7, either like this or without that pinky there. And I'll talk about that a little more. And there's a C, and there's an E minor, and an A minor, and a D. And for extra flavor, you should probably throw in your D7. And then if you really want to take it up a notch, if you're a beginner, and certainly if you're not a beginner, you definitely want to put in this little D sharp diminished chord. All right, and so that's all the chords that you'll need for this song. And then I'm going to do another little version for you, and that was the one that I did on the playthrough for the most part, and that's just a chord melody version where I'm going to show you how you can play these notes into the melody. All right, so let's talk about the lesson. So you're just going to play the chords. I'm going to put that right up on the screen now. You can take a screenshot like I always show you. These are just renditions of the song that I try to put together, and these arrangements are usually going to be just fine if you're playing this song by yourself. It's going to be recognizable. It's going to sound good. You can sing to it. People can sing along with you, and it's going to, something you could just take a screenshot of and have the chords broken down in a way that's understandable and easy to play. And as I always say, you can look around. Sometimes you get these versions like on Ultimate Guitar or what have you, but they just don't really sound right, or you're like, well, something's not right here, or something's missing, or this doesn't really make sense. And so I've just tried to put up arrangements that do make sense. Anyway, so if you could just take that for yourself and add that to your musical song list, and in return I would be grateful if you could just subscribe. That's the thing that I need the most, is subscribers at this point, so I can keep making these videos. And later I'm going to put up a sheet for the chord melody version that I'm going to show you right after this. So anyway, this chord version, you're going to want to sing this open D note. That's your pickup note to start. It's just basically should old acquaintance, and then A minor, be forgot. And if you can, you want to put this D7 in and never. And here you're going to put that G7 broad. And you can do that without that pinky on the D and just make it a 2-chord G7. And that B is actually in the melody, so you may not want to put that D in there. So, and you want to hit that F sharp too if you can. And then to mine is just a C. And then should old acquaintance, C minor, A minor, D7, and then you want to throw in this diminished, D sharp diminished if you can, and days of Auld Lang Syne. And so that's it. Now you got the whole chord version of the verse. Should all very similar as you see. For G Lang Syne, my dear. For Lang Syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet. And you can throw this in. For And if you're a real beginner, you can't get to those D7s, you could use D instead. But you want to do that if you can for extra flavor. Now, one thing I'll tell you right now, before I even get into the chord melody version, is that when I hit that C, and never brought to mind, you can do that little arpeggio that I'm doing. Even if you're a beginner, that might be a good way to get used to using your fingers, because you're just going to come up the high B, and down on the A. So this A string is actually a C note because you're making your C chord. So when you go to that and never G7 broad to mine, you could just do this little arpeggio, and that sounds kind of nice. So straight up from the E to the B to the G string, and then down on the A string, which is a C note. And then if you want to do the melody chord melody version, you'd start the pickup on this second line on this should would be a high E. Oh. All right, and since I'm talking about the chord melody version, let's talk about that. I'm going to put that up on the screen here. And what I've done is I put these sort of suggested melody notes in purple. And so what I've done in parentheses there, you can see like there's a B in parentheses there, or brackets. That's going to be under the chord. So for instance, let's just go through it real quickly. So the chord melody version, you're going to do that pickup, but you're going to start with the pickup. You're going to go ahead and throw that, open D in there for the should. And then the G chord, and then, and so here what I'm doing for this is should, and on the playthrough I go to the G, and I'm just going to play this G here and this open G. So should, and then I'm just going to quickly throw in 2 more G's. Acquaint, and then tense is going to be the high open B. So should, open D, acquaintance, and then we're going to go, so you see how those purple notes are the extra notes, and then you're just doing a whole chord, and then you're going to do an open G4, that's the purple G, got, and then you can either play the D7, or you can do the 2 notes, B, A, never, and never, open G, and then G7, with the, in the brackets is the B, so you're going to go, what? See, I'm just, call that a rake, but I'm accenting that high B, and then I'm going to hit the high E string, but the F sharp note off that G7. So, to my, and you see the E's in brackets because that's part of the C, accent that. So, let's go back over that line I never brought to mind. It's A, B, never brought, accenting the high B, to F sharp, C over that E, accenting that E, and here you can do this little arpeggio. And then the pickup is on the next line, you pick up with the high E, should, and then here you want to play this G and hit this D note, should, and then acquaint, high B's, open B's, tense, and that's the E minor, A minor, B, and then open G as a melody, forgot, and then I would throw in the D sharp diminished, and days, and I would throw in this D, this E note, days, so the E minor, days of Auld Lang Syne. So there you go, you got a chord melody version, and that sounds pretty good. Oh, instead of the D7 you go, and then the chorus is going to have a lot of open E's, high E's, and a lot of open B's. For, so the pickup is a high E, for Auld Lang Syne, my dear. So I'm just hitting open B's in between those chords. So the pickup is a high E, for Auld Lang, E minor, G, A minor, G, D. Again, high E for the pickup, for Auld. And this is going to be just like it was in the verse, with the G, 7 with the B. And then pick up on this. We'll take high B, open, cup, open G, kind, open G, get, 4, D sharp diminished, hold, and then I would just, for like a dotted eighth note here, barely hit that E note. Full, Auld Lang Syne. You can just leave that E note out if you want. For Auld Lang Syne. And so that's that. All right. So again, for Auld Lang Syne, my dear. For Auld Lang Syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet for Auld Lang Syne. All right. So I hope that was fun, and I hope you can get that together real quickly for your New Year's Eve party and show off for friends and family, or take it up on stage with you. Even better if you got a gig going, a duo, a trio, or even the band can just jump on board. A pretty straightforward song, kind of fun, and I hope that you enjoyed that. I hope you'll subscribe and like and comment and share, and I hope you have a wonderful, happy New Year. Thanks for watching.